We can do some basic styling of the hair using clump and twist built into the hair system shape base attributes. I'll go ahead and select the hair, go to the attribute editor, Control A. And in the clump and hair shape section of the hair system shape node, we can see that there is a clump twist attribute. And if we adjust this, we will see that each clump is going to rotate around its own follicle. I'm getting a bit closer so we can see that even more clearly. Something to know about a clump twist is that if you increase it up to a value of 1, you've essentially rotated the hairs 180 degrees. And if you adjust the value down to -1, you rotate it in the opposite direction by 180 degrees. And so essentially it ends up in the same place. So if I make that value -1, it's the same as a value of 1 because it's just rotated completely around 360 degrees. Now, clump twist on its own is not that useful unless we employ it in conjunction with other attributes such as clump curl or flatness. And we'll find those down in these ramps if we scroll down a bit. First of all, let's look at clump flatness. And with this ramp set to a value of 0, we get no flatness. If I click on this point here on the graph and move it upward, then it will cause the clump to become flatter and flatter. And once again, this is the root of the clump, and then this is the tip here. If I create another point here at the end and move that, then you can see what we're doing here. I've got a very flat clump at the root here, and then it's spreading out to be not flat at all at the tip. Or I can reverse that. So you'll see those are coming to a point, but it's coming to a linear point. It's a linear shape rather than a single point as we saw with the clump width scale. And then if I give the clump flatness a value of 1 throughout, then the clump twist will be more relevant. You can see what that's doing now. I can rotate those. They start out being aligned according to the UVs, and what we do here is when we adjust this clump twist is we rotate them relative to that starting point. Very good. So I'll turn the clump flatness back off again, delete that point, and bring this one back down to 0. And finally, let's look at clump curl. Clump curl is a little bit unique because a value of 0.5 means no curling. And if I reduce that value by bringing this point down, we will see that we get a lot of curling. And if we increase it to a positive value, it curls in the opposite direction. Once again, a value of 0.5 is no curling. Give that a little bit of a value of, let's say, 0.6 or 0.7 so we can see what that's going to do. And then once again, if we adjust the clump twist, we can rotate the hairs around that default rotation value. Those are some very quick and simple ways to create curly and kinky hair using the clump and hair shape attributes and ramps. In the next movie, we'll look at a slightly more advanced way of doing this using displacements.